It's a bigger responsibility, because I have to be, always, with a good example. And then sometimes pray for God and say, listen, God, help me to don't disappoint the people.
In the vast universe of football, where countless stars have shone and faded, there remains one luminary who burns brighter than them all. A beacon of inspiration, not just for Brazil, but for the world, Pele redefined what it meant to be a footballer. With a staggering 1,279 goals in 1,363 games, this isn't just a statistic. It's a testament to dedication, passion, and raw talent. From the vibrant streets of Brazil, a country where football is not just a sport but a way of life, emerged a young boy with dreams bigger than the vast Maracana Stadium. This boy didn't just dream, he soared, etching his name into the annals of history and elevating Brazil onto the global stage. But who was this boy? How did he, against all odds, rise to become the king of football? Journey with us as we delve into the life of Edson Arantes do Nascimento. The world knows him better as Pele. From the iconic status that Pele achieved, one might assume that he was born with a golden ball at his feet. Yet the truth is far from it. In the heart of Minas Gerais, Pele took his first breaths in a world vastly different from the grand stadiums and roaring crowds he would later come to know. Born in 1940, young Edson grew up in a household where money was scarce, but dreams were abundant. For many children, a lack of resources might mean a lack of opportunities. But not for Pele. His first football, not a glossy leather ball, but a sock. A sock tightly packed with newspaper that bounced unpredictably on the uneven streets. Yet this makeshift ball taught him more about control, precision, and improvisation than any professional training might have. The streets of Tres Coricos were his first playground, and they laid the foundation of a journey that would inspire millions. As the young Pele juggled his makeshift ball, displaying skills far beyond his years, whispers began. Whispers that this boy wasn't just another kid playing football, he was something special. It wasn't long before the local clubs took notice of this wonderkind. After all, when a young boy dribbles past grown men with ease, it's hard not to sit up and take notice. Behind this emerging star was a family that stood like a rock. Particularly influential was his father, Dondinho, a footballer himself. Imagine the scenario, a backyard in Brazil with a father and son duo practicing shots, discussing tactics, sharing dreams. Dondinho saw in his son not just talent, but a fiery passion. With his family's unwavering support at just 16, Pele took a leap that would change his life and the world of football forever. In 1956, he joined Santos FC, one of Brazil's premier football clubs. His entry wasn't quiet, it was meteoric. In his debut year, with Pele's invaluable contributions, Santos clinched their first ever Campeonato Paulista title. The statistics spoke for themselves. A teenager, among seasoned professionals, wasn't just playing, he was dominating. The boy from the streets had announced his arrival. The world of football would never be the same. By 1958, just 2 years after joining Santos, Pele had already made a colossal impact. At just 18, he was instrumental in Santos clinching the Copa Libertadores, South America's most renowned club title. But Pele wasn't done there. In the same year, during the Intercontinental Cup against the European giants AC Milan, it was his boots that struck twice, sealing a 2-1 victory. A teenager had stood tall against seasoned European champions. As the 1960s rolled on, so did Pele's unparalleled feats. The numbers alone are dizzying. 6 Campeonato Brasileiro Serie A titles, 3 Copa Libertadores, 2 Intercontinental Cups, all with Santos. The sheer consistency of his brilliance can be summed up in one staggering statistic: 643 goals in 656 matches for Santos FC. Let that sink in. Almost a goal every game, against the toughest defenses and the most seasoned goalkeepers. While Pele's heroics for Santos FC had already engraved his name in the annals of club football, it was the global stage of the World Cup where his legend would transcend all boundaries. 1957 marked not just Pele's international debut, but also a record. Facing arch-rivals Argentina at the iconic Maracana, the world saw a 16-year-old Pele find the net, becoming the youngest scorer for Brazil. While the game ended in a 1-2 defeat, a statement had been made. The boy was ready for the world. A year later, at the tender age of 17, Pele was not just playing in the World Cup, he was owning it. His prowess was evident when he stunned the globe with a hat trick in the semi-final, but the cherry on top was the final against Sweden. Two masterful goals from Pele played a crucial role in Brazil's 5-2 triumph, making them world champions for the very first time. Imagine, at an age where most are just finding their way, Pele was leading his nation to glory. But Pele's World Cup saga was far from over. Through the 60s, he would continue to dazzle on the biggest stage. 1962 in Chile saw him lift the trophy once again, solidifying Brazil's dominance. Though injury ended his 1966 campaign in England, he returned with a vengeance in 1970 in Mexico. The result? A third World Cup title, a record that stands tall to this day. 3 World Cups, a feat no other player has achieved. From the roaring stadiums of the World Cup to the bustling arenas of club football, Pele's journey was dotted with records that seemed almost otherworldly. Imagine a stadium, brimming with anticipation, watching Pele in the 1969 game against Vasco da Gama. And then the moment arrives, his 1,000th career goal. A feat so monumental, it seemed almost mythical. His prowess on the pitch didn't go unnoticed. Accolades poured in from all corners. Peers, pundits, and even rivals were in awe. Greats of the game hailed him, acknowledging his unmatched talent. Recognitions from FIFA, IFHS, and other reputed bodies came calling. He wasn't just another player of the decade or the year. Pele was named the Player of the Century by multiple organizations. As the glow of 3 World Cup victories and various achievements that came along with it, it's easy to forget that behind the glittering medals and roaring applause were moments of anguish, pain, and sheer determination. Football, for all its glory, is a physically demanding sport. For Pele, the challenges started early. Think of 1966, the World Cup in England, a tournament where he was brutally fouled, resulting in a devastating injury that sidelined him for the rest of the competition. Brazil needed him, but his body had given way. The statistics from that year speak volumes. Brazil, without their talisman, couldn't advance past the group stage. The weight of an entire nation's expectations rested on his shoulders. Every match, every goal, every touch was scrutinized, analyzed, and critiqued. When Pele soared, Brazil rejoiced. But when he faltered, the weight of millions of dreams pressed upon him. Yet, in the face of adversity, Pele's spirit shone the brightest. Injuries, pressure, high-stakes matches, they could dent his body, but not his will. He once famously said, "Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do." And Pele lived by these words. Beyond the roar of the stadiums and the accolades, he was a beacon of hope, a messenger of unity, and an ambassador of the game he so deeply loved. Football gave him a voice, and Pele used it to champion causes that mattered. He became more than just a player. He became the face of the sport. His influence was so undeniable that during the Nigeria-Biafra civil war in the late 1960s, a 48-hour ceasefire was declared just so people could watch Pele play in an exhibition match. Such was the power of his presence. Pele always had a special place for children. Recognizing the transformative power of sport, Pele worked tirelessly to create opportunities for the young. Through charitable foundations, he ensured that children had access to education, healthcare, and most importantly, the chance to dream. Yet it wasn't just about charitable acts. It was about sharing his story, a story of a boy from Tres Coracoes who defied every odd, every challenge to become the beacon of hope for millions. Through his journey, Pele sent out a message loud and clear. With passion, perseverance, and love, any dream can be realized. And then, on one fateful day, the world stood still. Pele, the boy from Brazil who danced with the ball, left us on December 29, 2022, at the age of 82. Sao Paulo's Albert Einstein Hospital, where he was battling multiple health challenges, announced the heartbreaking news. Today, as we remember Pele, it's not about the void he's left behind, but the legacy he's gifted us. A legacy of passion, perseverance, and the power of dreaming big. The king of football may have departed, but the tales of his exploits, his love for the game, and his unbeatable spirit will forever inspire generations to come. If you've been inspired by Pele's extraordinary journey, let's keep his legacy alive. Share this story with friends, family, and every football enthusiast you know. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and motivational stories like this. Who knows? The next story could inspire you or someone you know to defy the odds, just like Pele did.